Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Part 26. In the previous video, we were tilted, very much tilted. Partially my fault, just because I was kind of, I don't know, I was just kind of annoyed all yesterday and all those videos I recorded of this chapter. I don't really know why, but we're returning after a couple days break. Didn't record anything yesterday because I was busy with some real life stuff. But, and also we had the whole thing with the freaking photo, right? Where I clicked, like, I don't know, about 2 pixels higher than where the game wants you to click. Like, I clicked on his ankle or his, like, lower leg, but it wasn't quite low enough. So I assumed that you didn't actually click on his leg until I happened to click not on his leg, but near the bottom of his leg, and then it counted. It was pretty dumb, not gonna lie, but, basically, let's just go. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his opportunity. What? Would slave his opportunity subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? So is this whole chapter just like one long trial? Because this is gonna be hell due to the bad way the health mechanics works. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Even the music we're listening to currently? Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. But very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we should take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. And I will go eat omelet rice. What? I have a bad habit of stopping the videos, like, I don't know, 8 seconds before a to be continued part. Granted, we ended the last video kind of early just because I was like done playing the game. I was like, it's just better for me to stop than to keep going. Was basically my reasoning there. Dude, can't believe that Adrian. No way, not cool and collected, Adrian Andrews. He's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So even after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. I'm hitting the button, nothing's happening. There it goes. Cause she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yeah, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita. I mean, we don't necessarily know that. I mean, there's no other real suspect, but because of the whole extra angle with the Maya kidnapping and everything, also, controller! I did order a new cable, like, the other day. So, in about 14 years when that gets here, I will maybe have a controller that doesn't disconnect every 45 seconds. But why? I mean, I could use mouse and keyboard, but I don't wanna. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think our motive is related to Celeste Impax's missing suicide note, right? Yes, correct. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impacts suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. I want to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. Well, I would assume it has to do with the kidnapping. I'm hitting the button, nothing's happening. Controller! There we go. Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Lotta or Oldbag? One of those two? I don't remember which. Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependencies issues in regards to Miss Impacts? Who was the one that mentioned the dependent stuff? Who mentioned the dependent stuff? I don't remember. We talked to someone who knew about all this stuff. Oh, it was Edgy Boy, right? He was the one who mentioned it? It was Edgeworth. Looks like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. The only thing Edgeworth is in command of is these hands about to catch his face. Court will now reconvene! Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please! Prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ongard. You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to be like, I'm not gonna say anything, and then Edgeworth is all, oh, witness, please say your name and occupation, and then we just move on. I see. Now then, before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yeah, sure. What is it? You want to see beneath my beard? Because that's off limits. I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and I would love to find out more about my relationship, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seen, Mr. Corrida, with my own two eyes, enhanced with these glasses. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan, but this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait situation, or wait, is it bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. Fish. Could go with my omelet rice. Bailiff? But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I am. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim. I don't know, just the idea that we have to always find the killer is very funny to me. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. It's not because my controller's not working. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock, totally. I wasn't happy or nothing. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Alright, she's guilty. Next case. Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. What are you talking about? If I just saw a murder and then you had to make me guzzle down tomato juice, I'd just like throw it all up. Because it's disgusting. And I disturbed the scene of the crime by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. Bullshit. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yeah, whatever. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. I'm gonna press her. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? What the fuck are you talking about? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. You have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understood? But if you ever make a mistake, you will fail, and then you'll have to restart the entire trial. It's a fun mechanic, I promise. And what was Mr. Onguard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his many performances as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Onguard did say he was taking a nap. And I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? It? What are you? Right? I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. No? If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Onguard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Did you skip basic how to be a nice guy classes? And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Press. Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon. What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had more of a personal matter to discuss with the victim? Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. Or I can't get her to talk. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see? I mean, we could try and present the suicide thing, but I don't want to do it yet. Even though that seems to be where they're pointing us, but I can't trust the game, man. It lies too often. You were in shock? How many volts would you say you were in shock with? What, was I not supposed to be? Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. Would they? You can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not to be shocked. Shut up, that's irrelevant to the argument. Objection? Sustained? Thank you. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. What? My man totally fell asleep, and then he's just like randomly wakes up, realizes he wasn't paying attention, and then just kind of goes, ah, yes, of course. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too. Yes, it was open and empty, of course. Was it though? Was it truly open and empty? Because there's some water, but only on top of the lid. And then what did you do next, witness? I mean, that's up. We don't know enough about the, I mean, that feels like a contradiction. But they gave stronger hints for the other line, so I don't know. Juice? Because I assume what it is that that's the water from... Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. That's the water from the flower vase? Wait, where's the actual photo? Because it was probably closed when the flower vase got knocked over, then water fell on top of it. While it was closed, that's why the lid is still wet and everything. Maybe, but I mean, I guess it would still be wet even after you opened it and closed it again, like the top of the lid if it was closed at the time. Because it definitely seems like it was probably closed when the murder happened, then the guitar was stolen, maybe? But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in a great shock. And that's when you poured yourself that glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at that time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing? What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Miss Andrews! I'm convinced that as you just said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Okay. So then, if the photo at the time... God, I'll keep going to the wrong one. The photo at the time had it open. So that would mean... So it was probably closed when she came in there. Or... I mean, let's walk this through. So let's assume she's the murderer for this instant, right? Murders him. He gets freaking moitered. Then she knocks the water onto the closed guitar case. Opens the guitar case afterwards, gets the guitar. Maybe the suicide note is hidden in there or something. That kind of makes some sense to me. Or there's for some reason the guitar needed to be taken. Or she thought it was in the case. She thought something was in the case. Left it open, but it was still wet from the water. But I don't really... I mean, there's a contradiction there, kind of. It would mean that the guitar case was open prior to... I mean, not really a contradiction, but there's something there. In the sense that it would mean that she probably tampered with the guitar case for some reason. Are we talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Okay, that's a contradiction there. I think we got her, maybe. Well, it doesn't say it in the line, but her saying she didn't touch anything else. I mean, the guitar case had to have been messed with, right? I mean, because for the sake of we have to assume this is like a picture of the scene untouched, right? Like, we can't assume that the investigators on site are the ones who opened the guitar case. I think we have to operate under the logic that this is supposed to be the perfectly preserved crime scene. Because otherwise, then you get, like, there's too many potential, like, possibilities there that can't be explored. So let's press one more time on this new one. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take one's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. Some very strong, decisive evidence. I mean, is it suicide note time? I just feel like there's so much effort put into this, like, vase thing that I gotta try it. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over, is this correct? Yes. And you're sure it fell into the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem, it's a major problem. Oh, great timing there. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if this was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Ah! What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Ah! Yes, that's exactly right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found in the, oh god. It's like my throat's getting, like, clogged up. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. Thought I was about to frickin' die on recording right there. That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? I mean, she must have thought something was in there. Now, why he would carry the suicide note or anything like that in his guitar case, I have no idea, but it seems that there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details? Oh, is this a red herring? Ah, god, this is a red herring, isn't it? Fuck. Maybe we are supposed to double back and do the other thing. I mean, that makes sense. But I gotta explore this. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Oh god, whenever Phoenix says shit like that, I already know I'm dead. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I mean, we were told to always stay on the offensive and never back down or else we'd instantly lose, so that's why I'm doing this. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though. Right, the case is empty after all, but was it? As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Dude, come on, man. Those are the words of a frickin' liar. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. What are you talking about? The fact that she lied in the first place is very important. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. You know what? That's a foolish sentence from a foolishly foolish fool. The guitar case, the alternate title for this chapter. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you denying whether or not you are a, quote, liar liar pants on fire, I believe is the legal term? Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Miss Andrews? Yes, it was me. So it sounds like she's lying. So you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Corita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed, maybe even confused. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. What in the fuck are you talking about? I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about that bright red guitar? But getting back on topic. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? I don't know, like a year? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you just pay attention. Yeah, but like, when was it found at the studio? When? It could have been moved. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. I mean, come on, man. Have you ever paid attention to any of these trials? You think the idea that something was moved from one location to another is like, that's too far-fetched? Like, Edgeworth, read up on the circus case. You see what fucking happened there, dude? It was crazy. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at the discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now. Shut up, okay? It wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with, like a gun. I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found. I'm mashing the present button. Get stabbed. Okay, open the guitar case after the vase was knocked over. I feel like we don't really have anything here. It's not a big deal though. The case was empty after all. There's some water only on top of the lid. There's Corita's fingerprints. I don't know. Like I'm looking, and I just don't really see anything. Okay, let's try and let's press them all again, just to see if we can see any information. Remember those events clearly in your mind. You see? Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. So you opened the guitar case. Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? So, I mean, it sounds like she's actually lying about opening the case. Mr. Corita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. So let's see if we can maybe find some way to prove that she wasn't dazed and confused. Maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about a bright red guitar? I mean, you could try and maybe present, like, in my mind, I'm like, she's looking for the suicide note for some reason. But I really just don't feel like it's that relevant to what she's saying. But also, I feel like we have nothing else. Like, anything to prove that she was not shocked by the murder. Hotel guide map. Nothing there. Wine glass. Found next to the victim, it's filled with tomato. I mean, obviously, I feel like the idea that she poured a wine, like, poured tomato juice into a glass is, like, baffling. Like, if she is, of that sound mind to do that, but then also... But I don't know if that's just, like, some like, wacky logic on the game's part that I'm supposed to accept, or if that's an actual contradiction. That's one of the problems, somewhat, with the game having such, like some of the things you just have to roll with, right? Which is fine. I'm good. I'm okay with rolling with a lot of the stuff the game presents. But then I'm like, is this just, like, actually a contradiction, or is that just, like, something kind of stupid I'm supposed to roll with, you know? Found an on-guard's Hakama. Was ripped from his costume. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. So they get mad at us for not paying attention. You don't know why you opened the case. Okay, I mean, we gotta do something eventually, so... And it's not like I have any pride on the line. The game's destroyed any and all, pretense of me actually knowing what I'm doing at this point, so... We kinda have to... Honestly, I don't even know if, like, we're stuck. Like, is this a dead end? Were we not even supposed to be on this, like, in the first place? Like, I'm almost, like, starting to worry if this is a complete red herring and I was not supposed to be here. Okay, let me load. I mean, I can't think of... Because, like, I mean, my idea that I'm going for, right, is that she was searching the room for the suicide note. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we tried that avenue. Honestly, I'm starting to worry that we are completely stuck in this. But, like, I don't know if it's something I'm missing, or if this is a dead end just to troll you. Time of death, 8:15. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Know anything about the button? The wine glass? Maybe something to do with the wine glass? I mean, I do think the idea that she poured wine while being so dazed and confused is, like, actually insane. I mean, I know it wasn't actually wine, it was tomato juice, but, you know, whatever. I'm probably going to shorthand refer to it as wine just because. And why did you open? She was dazed. I want to try a wine glass here. Wait, was it this one? I can't... Did we just press on this one, or did we just press on the other one? Was it really empty? Okay, so it's the second prompt we want. No? Really? Okay, I'm about to, like, I might have to load back and see if that other avenue or something, like, if this is a dead end, because... Oh! Did she... There's no fingerprints of hers on it, right? But which one do we do this for? I mean, let's load back so we at least have, like, one more... And if we gotta do the rest of the freaking game, we can only make one mistake. So yeah, which one did she say you opened it? I mean, yeah, I feel like it kind of applies to all of her statements. So you opened the case then. Okay. Now, theoretically, you could make an argument that, like, oh, the water is why there were no fingerprints, but let's go for this. That's a good prompt. I just was getting a little... I guess I'm still too focused on the suicide note stuff. There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Also, I didn't really notice that it said the part about fingerprints there. But... why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. I mean, it could have been... well, no, if she was using gloves, there wouldn't be fingerprints on the glass, so okay. We can dismiss that argument. What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Well, you weren't. Well, gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at that time? It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well then, Mr. Wright, it seems, that's strange. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little, how do we say, strange? Why is it strange? You're strange. Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off and you poured yourself this glass of juice, you wouldn't think it was just a little strange. Or wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? What? Oh no, my emergency backup glasses activate! That's great, I love that. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. Don't patronize me, Mia. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. You're an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio. Come on, Phoenix, man. Controller, please. Controller. Controller. Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean... it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. Granted, I've never seen a natural person in my courtroom. I mean, Jesus. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. I'll have you know that usual misdirection tactic has beaten you 3 times. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into a misguided... No, Your Honor. Please, recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. Give me a second and I will continue with my speech. There we go. You're so sure, Wright. And I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Substantiate. Mia, quick, find a dictionary. What does substantiate and outrageous and claim mean? Please enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Yes, I'll let my assistant take over. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in that case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing, was it a bright white guitar? A bright black guitar? So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, Mr. Wright? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Except for sometimes I say some stuff that I don't intend to prove. Like the monkey. He was the murderer. We got the wrong man. Macker was innocent. It was money, man. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Well, it was, you see, I mean, I gotta try the suicide note thing first, but then I'm almost like, what if it was the radio transceiver? I have no clue, because I mean, we still have to loop this back into that whole storyline, but let's go suicide note first. And why would something like that be inside a guitar case, let alone this one? Well, like, not the actual report, but, like, the idea behind the report, man. Well, okay, whatever. Can a foolishly fool get some love? Do you say that you can prove your theory? Can you prove? Yeah, okay. Why didn't you just instantly fail me and make me redo the entire trial? You're a coward. In the camera? We know the camera wasn't in there. And why would it be? The button? Why would the button be in there? The knife? I mean, the radio transceiver, like, it makes no sense, but I feel like it's the only thing that makes any sense. His knife, you know, it's in the dude. The button, it had been ripped off at this point. Why would it be in the case? I have no clue, man. Wait, is it I mean, it couldn't be a person. No person can fit inside. Right? Was it Celeste? Was she in there? I don't know. Oh god, we're all the way back here? Oh frick, dude. What did we do? We presented the case, right? That's strange. Just pretend you've never seen this before. Boy howdy, sure do wish I could play the game. Okay. I don't know. It's hard for me to even like talk. I get kind of frustrated a little bit, and then it's like I can't want to say anything. Like I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, okay, I got it wrong. Okay, I get it. The magazine clipping. None of the evidence makes any sense. Was it our attorney's badge? The The knife? Why would the knife be in there? The attempted suicide report? That doesn't make any sense either. We already tried the button. The guitar case was inside the guitar case? Her dead body was in there. I don't know. Maybe like kept her severed head. Dude, this makes no sense. Press conference ticket, radio the camera. And we know Lotta had the camera still because the picture. And then Old Bag got access to it, so it's nothing to do with the camera. And why would she want the camera? It'd be there in the first place. Not the photo, and we've presented every piece of evidence except for the camera, so... It better not be a fucking person, man. I mean, we can try the other suicide report. Oh my god, shut up. Also, I just wish the skipping was faster as well. I mean, we've done everything. Like, I mean, we've literally presented every piece of evidence. We did camera, we did clipping, we did good art, and we haven't done... The wine glass was in there. I don't know. I mean, at the very least, you're only penalized 1 by 1. Like, it's the only, like, 1 of 2 times in the entire game you've had a 1 penalty for a frickin'... I mean, it's not exactly true. There's been a couple other times. Like, I mean, I've literally presented every frickin'... Lotta's photo was there. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. That doesn't even make any sense! We're just gonna do it again. From the start. Why in the hell would Lotta's photo be in the guitar case? That literally makes less than 0 cents. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what's in that picture, Your Honor. What am I looking at? What? The costume was in there? Like an alternate version of the costume, maybe? Is that what they're going for? In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, yeah, it takes a fucking madman, because this doesn't make any sense. Inside the car case... What? How in the fuck are you supposed to know that? What? Mr. Wright, shut up. You're stupid. This is dumb. Right, are you saying the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be in doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. Okay, but first you have to prove A, why was it in there? B, why does she have a spare? Like, is there a spare? Because we've never been introduced to the idea of there being a spare before. Like, this is actually maybe the one time the game's logic is pissing me off. Because this is like so... Like, it makes so many assumptions that have not been provided any evidence for. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. I mean, on one hand, there is a degree of logic there, but, like, actually, no, there's not, because we have no reason to assume she didn't enter in the costume in the first place. That makes way more sense than she managed to hide the costume in his room via the guitar case, and then was able to retrieve it when the I actually really don't like this. You have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door is an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Okay, why didn't she have a... Like, if she was looking for evidence of Adrian going to meet with Juan, wouldn't her photo have been of Adrian entering normally? Like, the idea that she entered dressed normally and then changed into the costume in the room makes so much less sense. And I feel like it actually contradicts what the game has already established. Looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first thing. I'm actually, like, really mad. Like, this is pretty bad, I think. Like, am I just missing something, or is this, like, horrible? So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. What is... Wait a second, Your Honor! The Nickel Samurai's costume would have to have been Mr. Mad on Guard's. Why would something to the defendants be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? And how'd they get there? Why does she have a spare? We've never mentioned the idea of a spare before. It's been established multiple times that Mad on Guard was always in the costume. It's a little baffling. So the court would like to hear your thoughts. I mean, it was a spare. Had to have been. Did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one. What? Can you say on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I understand the concept of a spare, but I wish there had been at least the tiniest amount of a hint that that was a possibility. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean the victim himself brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. How am I supposed to know that? But why? The victim, Mr. Corrida, was the jamming ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? Like, I'm so mad still. Like, not even just that the prompt is a little wacky, I just feel like the logic behind it makes absolutely 0 sense. And, like, most of the times, like, even times when I feel like the prompts are bad, I can kind of see their logic. This makes none. Not even in, like, a wacky, like, that's so crazy, that's super implausible. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? I don't know, it's something to do with the confession or something. Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. Yeah, whatever, I'm gonna lose, and then I'm gonna have to reload 8 times, and, I don't know, press conference. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yeah, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I've heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. OnGuard himself said he had no idea what was supposed to be holding. He was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. I'm Miss Andrews. We're about to end the video. Don't worry. I'll stop being tilted as soon as we stop. How can that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. What? The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. What? Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Alright, we're stopping. Goodbye. I'm Extra Cheese 87. Stay tuned for the next part. Bye, guys.